Hi, this is Imre Galambos, Professor of Chinese at the University of Cambridge. And this video is about why I like using Kindle. More specifically, what are the 5 main reasons I would recommend it to others. So if this is something you're interested in, please stick around. I've been meaning to buy an ebook reader for a long time, but it was only at the beginning of the pandemic when we found ourselves locked in our homes that I went for it. So I bought a generic ebook reader and used it for a few weeks, but shortly after that I decided to buy a Kindle Paperwhite. So this is the Kindle I bought. It cost me about £130, and after using it for a year and a half, I have to say that it was completely worth it. If I had to do it again, I would buy it again. In fact, I did buy it again, but I will discuss this maybe in another video. So what are the Kindle Paperwhite's advantages? What are the benefits of using it? This might be different for different people, but from my own perspective, I can think of 5 things that make it worthwhile to use a Kindle. Number 1 is that it makes me read much more, and not just a little bit, but it actually makes me read about 2-3 times more, and also to read different things from what I usually read. With the Kindle, I'm reading things for which I did not have the time before, or at least I thought I did not have the time. So I'm reading much more literature, fiction, non-fiction, and not necessarily things that are directly related to my own work. And I think that's a pretty awesome thing. Number 2 is that it's convenient. You can change the size of the font, the background color, adjust the brightness, and all these features make reading a much more enjoyable experience. These are not just fancy tweaks, but functional features which significantly enhance the reading experience. Hence, you can read more. Number 3 is battery life. This is a simple thing, but actually quite important in daily life. With the Kindle, if you charge it, you don't have to worry about it for the next couple of weeks. This is quite different from, say, mobile phones, where battery life is a continuous problem. They always run out of juice, and you have to worry about this every single day. With the Kindle, this constant level of attention, whether it's charged enough or it has enough power for the next few hours, it's not a problem. It's just not an issue. You just don't have to think about this. And every 2-3 weeks, when it does run out of power, you just recharge it, and that's it. From this perspective, it really is perfect. Number 4, with the Kindle, you can highlight sentences and passages you're interested in. This is so you can record them and then retrieve them later. The retrieval part is a little bit tricky. You have to jump through a series of hoops, but the recording part is definitely very convenient. This is a great way of engaging with the content. Rather than being completely passive in taking in the material, you can record it and somehow participate in the book a little more. Number 5 is that the Kindle has this vocab lookup function, which is very convenient because it has dictionaries attached, and so you can highlight a word and look up its meaning. An additional feature that I did not anticipate is that the Kindle also had a vocabulary builder function, which means that any word that you have looked up before goes into a database and gets recorded. So when you open this vocabulary builder, then you can go through the words you did not know and even do quizzes with them. And this was an entirely unexpected feature I wasn't aware of. I have tried doing something similar myself using a notebook. I recorded a couple of 100 words, but then I gave up on this project and forgot about it simply because it was a little bit inconvenient. It wasn't that inconvenient. After all, it's very simple to find a pen and write down a few words in a notebook. But it wasn't that convenient either because every time I had to find a pen and then also look up the meaning of the word. With the Kindle, this whole process of jotting down unknown words became completely effortless. I just press my finger on the word I'm not sure about, it gives me the definition, and at the same time it enters it into a database so I can look at it later. And this tiny improvement in the process of collecting words made an enormous difference to me. So after only a few months of using the Kindle, I already had over 1,000 words in it. Especially when I started reading novels that were a little bit older, my list of words grew incredibly fast. And even though I had to reset my Kindle a couple of months ago, since then I have another 1,000 words in it. So not being a native English speaker, this feature of the Kindle was incredibly useful for me. Alright, so these are the 5 reasons I find the Kindle incredibly useful. Let me know if you have any questions or if there are topics you would like me to talk about. And please consider hitting the subscribe and like buttons. This helps the channel a great deal. Thank you for watching and see you next time.